Okay, so our next speaker is Chris Woods. Chris?
So, I'm Chris Woods, and I really like STEM. And you're thinking, how can someone tell me in 5 minutes how to like STEM and be a STEM teacher? I can't, right? But I can give you some ideas and suggestions of how I've put STEM in my classroom, teaching math for 16 years, studying engineering at Michigan Tech. And really, it doesn't matter what grade, what subject you teach, what age level, you can look for the STEM around you, and you can add it into your classroom. For me, it started with just taking something that I read in the news and putting it up on the screen, and I call it the link of the day. My kids love it. If I see something about Apple saying, hey, we're going to make a car, and you think, how can Apple make a car? And so I bring it up with my students, and they start talking about it and talking about the technology of it. And pretty soon, every day in class, they're saying, what's the link of the day today, Mr. Woods? What are we going to talk about today? So I post those things on social media, on my Twitter, @DailySTEM. If you need ideas, all you got to do is just look for something. They're all out there. Start by reading the news, and whatever you come across, just share it with your classroom. And when you come across something you think, this would be really good for that chapter that we do on the solar system, bookmark it, because that only takes 2 seconds to find, 3 months from now, as opposed to 15 minutes trying to find it in Google. Find something on Wired. When everybody was wondering, is that dress really blue or is it white? Right? Talk about that in your class. What's the technology behind that? And get your kids talking. A lot of people have been learning something about maker movement. We go to maker sessions. Okay, Instructables is a great site for that. There's all sorts of things that people take apart, put back together. It's just all sorts of neat ideas if you've never found that one. Easy way to add some STEM to your classroom. Compound Chem. This is a really neat site because they make amazing infographics about the chemistry behind things, whether it's the aromas of food or even poisons chemistry. And you can bring that into your Romeo and Juliet discussions. When you come across an interesting video, especially like really technological things like that Cisco or Microsoft show, that Microsoft HoloLens commercial, that was really cool. I showed it to all my class, and they're all like, oh yeah, that'd be great to play Minecraft in my room. Sports Science on ESPN, check that spot for some great videos, especially if your kids like sports. Easy way to add some STEM. And as always, Mythbusters, How It's Made, those are great videos. Maybe have a Mythbusters week in your classroom. Like every day, halfway through the class or halfway through the day, show something, show a clip from Mythbusters and just get those kids talking and thinking about the fact that STEM is all around you. Or at a holiday, don't just get out like a worksheet where you connect the dots and color the picture. Talk about the aroma of Christmas trees. Or get a pumpkin and ask the kids to estimate how many seeds do you think are inside. Are you a history or a social studies teacher? I talked to my grandpa, and it's amazing to hear the stories about the technology in his day versus the technology in my day. And it was so cool to hear him tell me the stories of making cables for the lunar rover. And I tell my kids, someday you're going to go to the moon, and those cables that my grandpa are there. And we've talked about already in some of these conferences, some of these sessions, the phone that you have in your hand is the worst technology you're ever going to see and your students are ever going to use. Have you seen any good STEM lately? Ask your students to take pictures. I took that first picture, I'm thinking, God really loves parallel lines. He loves his geometry. They're right there in the sky for me. Kids will start taking pictures on their own and bring them in and showing me. And they're like, Mr. Woods, look at this. I saw math. I saw science. Call it a STEM scavenger hunt. Send your kids with their devices out on the playground. Or have them do STEM and tell instead of show and tell. I call this device the real-time data producer. Yes, it's a water bottle filler, but it's got awesome data. Instead of, in the last 3 years, this many records sold, and that's in your math book, use real data. And just like we have parents, and we tell parents, read to your kids early. Tell your parents to do some STEM with your kids early. Because if you get those kids to go on trips and exploring and making with them, those kids are going to start looking for that STEM around them. You can take that STEM that's around you and you'll start to notice it. Bring it into your classroom. And And your students are going to love it, and they're going to love you for bringing that STEM into your classroom. All right?